Hey Max, how you doing, buddy? Max, appreciate you tuning in. Waiting on our guest here. Going to be on with Travis Weaver from Manready Mercantile. There they are, right on cue. Travis,
Hey, buddy.
what's going on, man?
Another day in paradise.
I hear you. Um, Thanks. We'll give it a minute or two here to let people know that we're live, and then get right into it. What are you drinking there?
Water.
It's funny. Um,
Just
did one of
drink
these the other
water.
day and with Ryan Lashane from Riel, and he was cracking some Miller Lights at 3 o'clock. But
I don't really drink too much anymore, but um, I get bottles and stuff sent up here all the time. I guess everybody thinks I'm a raging alcoholic, but I'll take them. I do drink them, but just not like I used to.
yeah, well, I think we can go ahead and get started. Obviously, you're at the store right now, so just to give a little introduction, what I would like to do on in this next 30-40 minutes when we're talking is just talk about what you've been doing during COVID-19 at Manready Mercantile, how you've been adapting, maybe some silver linings. Um, you are at the store, so we're going to get a chance to see some products and get a little virtual tour, which I'm excited about. Before we get into all
Yeah.
that, I did want to properly introduce you and talk a little bit about your background. So first, could you just maybe start off, tell people what Manready Mercantile is all about?
Yeah, so my name is Travis Weaver, and I'm the founder of Manready Mercantile. We're located here in Houston, Texas, at 321 West 19th Street in the Heights. Um, we I started this business in my apartment by making soy candles and reusable whiskey glasses, and I went door to door selling them to kind of prove a point that you can start something from nothing. You don't have to grow up um, rich, or you don't have to ask for a handout, and you can make it these days. You just have to work hard, work honest, do the right things, work with your community. You got to have some creative thoughts as well, of course. But I kept making more and more products that were typically only geared towards. In the past, they were geared towards women, and I made them more marketable and approachable for kind of guys, or really as gifts for guys. So I'd make like I said, soy candles and whiskey glasses, and I'd make bubble baths and bath salts, and I put them in whiskey bottles. And I wouldn't call it a bubble bath; I'd call it a tub elixir. And I wouldn't call it a bath salt; I'd call it, a tub soak or something like that. So just a more marketable name, and that's what my background is marketing and advertising. And I have no experience in retail, and so I'm kind of learning this as I go. And really, my passion's not even retail, even though we have a retail store. It's in manufacturing and creating things and selling them. I just like to sell stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
so technically, fast forwarding, that was in 2012 in my apartment where I was making all these items, and then I started manready.com, and then I'd upload photos on there that I take with my iPhone because I didn't even have enough money for a digital camera or whatever, or any of that stuff, lighting or photo editing apps or whatever you call it. So what I did is I took photos with my iPhone, put them on manready.com of products that I made, and then I ended up buying other brands, just like any store would, that they have other brands. So I'd buy other brands and put them on manready.com. And then I was shipping this stuff all over the country, and I was picking up wholesale accounts. And one of the first ones I ever got was ironically Whole Foods, and we had 6 SKUs in there. And Whole Foods, like in the first 2 months of business in my apartment, and so which was bonkers. And so then we picked up more and more wholesale accounts, like smaller ones, and then across the country, and then making more and more products, buying more and more stuff. And then I put vintage stuff on there, and because I grew up buying and selling vintage goods, and then which is what the shop's decorated with to this day. And then I outgrew that space, had enough money to get the space that we're at here in the Heights. Got it. It's a 2-story brick and mortar building built in 1920. And really, the idea at first is I just wanted a warehouse to be able to make the products in and to be able to ship them out at wholesale and online. And we found this space. We're like, hell, we can like make everything downstairs and ship it out of there. And then upstairs, we'll just have a store. If people want to come up and buy something, they can. That's all good and great. And then it went crazy, you know, and then the retail store became the biggest revenue portion of the business. And then we outgrew the downstairs on being able to make, because that's where we're making all the products, right? We outgrew that really quick. And then we got our production space down the road here in Houston, and that's where we make a lot of the products that we sell. So we make higher end apothecary products like lotions and soaps and stuff like that. And they're higher end because we use premium ingredients and we use essential oils. And as you know, those are very expensive. They're not cheap for us to make, and they're not cheap for people to buy. It's just the way it is. But they're good, really, really good. And they're not all like super dude scents. So, you know, they don't smell like a tractor tire or bacon or something stupid. They're not tchotchke, goofy, you know, smelling like Wrangler blue jeans or something. Or whatever. I don't even know what people would be into. But ours are, you know, professionally packaged type stuff. We do our own graphic design. We do our own photography. We do our own manufacturing, our shipping and distribution. We do everything internally, and that's what you know, it allows us to expand and grow and create more jobs and whatnot. So we invest all the money back into the business and into our employees. So we have that space, and it's really cool. It's like I'll post pictures of it on our Instagram page on occasion. It's got a really cool 3-piece like slate pool table, which is awesome. It's got a ping pong, dartboards. It's got a bar, a kitchen, leather making, candle making. We host workshops and stuff over there. It's really,
I still need to get over there and see that space.
yeah, it's like incredible. And then here, you know, we focus mainly on super premium goods, on other like third-party brands that we bring in, mostly on made in the U.S. So I would assume, because we wholesale to like, I don't even know how many companies across the world, but I haven't seen any other business that has as many made in the USA brands as we have. Not even near. So that's kind of our thing, so is mostly made in the U.S., but we do have select brands from other countries because some things in other places they're built much better than they're built here. It's the way it is. So just because something's made in the U.S. doesn't mean it's like the best, and that's just a misconception. And I know because I've been doing this a long time, even before, you know, dealing with different types of products and goods and manufacturing and all kinds of stuff. Some of the conditions aren't great. Some of the products aren't great. The people running the businesses aren't great, just like in any other place. So some of the stuff in other places is just better. And so we're going to search out the best, but we do like to keep it here as much as we can in the U.S., and then even more centralized in Texas, and even more centralized in Houston, and if we can, here in the Heights. You know what I mean? So we want to keep jobs here. We want to support here. That is the main part of our deal. But the other caveat is the best, you know? So if the best alpaca is from Peru, that's where we get it from. You know, if the best wool is from, you know, Ireland, that's where we get it from, you know, or whatever. And so, you know, some places just been doing this stuff for hundreds of years on some types of manufacturing, like these axes that we have made from Hutsbrook. They're from Sweden, from hand forged from 1697. I mean, you know, the best, right? And the tradition and the values and all the things that they go in there. Some people here just aren't going to put that time and attention into it because there's not that, they don't have the market for it, right? And so I say super premium because the type of products we have, they're again, like the products that we make, they're not cheap they're not cheap to make. They're not cheap to buy. A lot of this stuff does not come on some mass-produced assembly line that's laser guided with robots working it. And what does it say? Somebody's
Archive Collection Co. said our journals are made in the U.S.
Oh, cool. I'll have to check them out.
Yeah, we also had I think Greatest of All Texas chimed in with a comment saying they miss drinking old fashions while they shop.
Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah, we have a bar. I was gonna call it a bar. It's a little bitty bar in here where it's actually behind me, and we got some booze up there. Looks like there's some. I'll
It's like
take
a
you on
private collection right now.
Yeah, that's just we've got liquor all over this place. But we have a little bar where we'll make you a homemade old fashioned whenever you come in. They're on the house. We can't. The law here in Texas, we can't sell them because we don't have a liquor license. But as long as you're over 21, we can give you a drink.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, what I was saying is the type of products we have, and some people, to be honest with you, it's a little frustrating for me at times because they don't get it on the way prices work on stuff. Like they'll come in or I'll post something online. I'll just say like, this is one of our Manready shop tees, and they have like the actual like Manready. I can't really see it. I'll show you here in a minute. The Manready Mercantile tag.
Yeah.
And we have these custom made in California, low production run, and we sell them for $36 for the t-shirt. The $36 free shrunk organic cotton, custom made. We order like, a few thousand of them at a time in a few different colorways. They don't even hardly want to make them for that low production run. You're eating up their line time. They need that thing like blasting, right? Just like
Right.
any other textile made. They want to run thousands and thousands and thousands of yards of miles of the same color, for a month at a time, or whatever, a week at a time, and that's how you maximize their margins, right? And their output. They don't want to be changing over the mills or the loom, however they're making it. So we get in night on the low quantity, and whereas these big companies call it fruit of the loom, they can sell 3 packs of t-shirts for $12 at Walmart,
Mm-hmm.
but we're not selling 3 packs of t-shirts. We're not. That's not a deal. If you want a cheap t-shirt, go to Walmart, go to Target, go to J.C. Penney's or Macy's or whoever sells all that stuff. You can buy all you want. If you're gonna buy something from here, it ain't gonna be cheap, and it's not gonna be cheap made. It's the
Right.
deal.
Quality. It's quality, like you're talking about.
It is, and things here mess up just like anywhere else. And if they do, you know who you can come back to and make it right. It's just there's a price tag associated with that. So you get a $14 that old fashioned that we'd make behind us. That thing costs $14 in any bar and restaurant now. It's free. You want a beer? No problem. Got it right here. They're free.
Yeah.
The type of staff we have here, they're not, just goofballs off the street that are coming in to collect a minimum wage deal. They have their degrees and all kinds of stuff, and they're just not hacks, and it's not a normal retail environment here. This building is very expensive rent here, and everything that you'll see in here, I mean, this stuff takes a lot to operate it. So but it is frustrating at times, just to let you know, I'm venting a little bit. There's some people, oh yeah, amazing t-shirts, $36 though. What are you thinking? I'm like, what do you mean? That's a ridiculous price. And this is very seldom, by the way, thank God. And I'm like, dude, it's not even worth my breath to even try to explain to you, And a lot of times it'll be the same people that are like, oh yeah, buy made in the USA. And then like, they look at that price thing like, you don't really buy made in the USA, buddy, because if you did, you would know that it costs more to manufacture stuff here, especially whenever you're dealing with a small brand. I mean, so,
yeah.
But anyway, that's where we're at.
Yeah.
So that's what we've got here. And now we have, probably 100 plus made in the USA brands, probably 50 other brands from around the world. And we wholesale and distribute our products that we make here in Houston, around the country, around the world. And then, that's the overview. And we've got the 2 floors. Manready's upstairs, which is where I'm at right now. And downstairs is called, since we moved everything out down the road to our production space, we have we turned everything downstairs into a women's shop, a shoppable women's shop. And
Candle shop.
we call it the Candle Bar at Manready. So you can come in there, we'll make you a drink on the house, and we'll teach you how to custom make your own candle like I used to do back in my apartment back in the day. You'll label and leave with it. We have a Miss Pac-Man down there. You can hang out and drink and play it. We have a big American flag that's like, I don't even know how big it is. We found it at a flea market in Brooklyn. You can take a photo in front of that with your family. We have a kind of an Astros mural on the outside, which is really cool. You can take a photo there. And then we have a vintage Volkswagen Beetle that's with a mural behind it. So when you get in the car and you take a photo, it looks like you're in your own postcard. You know, so we just kind of make everything really 360-degree marketable moment here, because then that's that advertising background in me that I think about, because I want everybody marketing for us, that comes in. And
yeah, you guys get a lot of see your stuff all over the place on social media, and that American flag in particular is a great photo op backdrop. And I definitely want to talk about some of the things that you've been doing. You're always innovating. You guys are definitely a staple in Houston on 19th Street there, with your products and just the way you go about your business. Did want to say hi to and thank everybody who's been joining. Saw Steph Gonzalez, an old friend. She said two of her favorites, me and you, I guess that meant, and a few others. Tony Dabbitt, I'm seeing Grace Gibson, my fiance, is on in the other room. Thanks, Grace.
Oh, cool.
But if you guys have questions for Travis, send them in. We'll try and answer them as we're talking. Again, this is Travis Weaver, the owner of Manready Mercantile, a great Houston business that has reached far beyond Houston. And we're talking about how you've been adapting during COVID-19 and how people can support you as well. Before that, I did want to ask about your hometown. You're from Zephyr, Texas, and I Googled Zephyr before we did this call. I didn't realize, I know it's a small town, said the population as of 2000 was like 198 people.
Yeah.
Tell me about Zephyr.
Yeah, so Zephyr is up by Brownwood, Texas, which is like in the center of Texas. Most people wouldn't know that, maybe like Abilene or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of near there. But Zephyr is a very small school, or very, very small town. We actually played 6-man football, so we didn't even have enough people to play 11-man.
Wow.
So it's the best way that I can describe it. It's kind of like rugby, kind of. The rules are a little bit different. When I say rugby, in the sense that everybody's just much. It's more high impact. And we just made fun of 11-man schools because everybody was too big and too slow, and we were just like, if we had 11 men, our type of players, we would just annihilate an 11-man team. That was like always our dream, is to be able to pull enough people together to be able to actually go out and play an 11-man team, because the guys we had were all just very, very fast and very quick, and it's just different than just a bunch of guys just kind of bumping pads at a line, because everything's just very different. So I know, Nick, you're really into sports. You should try to find a really good 6-man team somewhere in the state. One of these weekends, take a road trip when I guess people can play football again, and then go out and watch a really cool, a really good 6-man game, because the scores will be 68 to 84 or something, and the field is 80 yards by 40 instead of 100 by 50. So and the rules are different, and a lot of spread.
Yeah, I've never seen it. Very
cool. High impact, high scores. It's crazy. But I mean, you have superstar athletes out there. It's very interesting. But anyway, I went to Zephyr High School, K through 12. A lot of the kids, I had 22 people in my graduating class, I think. And so I think 6 of us were in school K through 12 our entire life together. So that was kind of interesting. But yeah, we just grew up hunting and fishing and hauling hay in the summers. You do whatever you can during the summer to get stronger for football for whenever you're in school. And then, so I hauled hay, and it's just a different life altogether. But the type of values and things you learn there have carried over with me to this day. And so, you know, whenever I'd work with my granddad, I guess he passed away when he was 92 or something like that, I think. But so I obviously didn't know him. That was when I was like 20 years old. So obviously I didn't even know him until he was in his 70s, right? Because I wasn't, you know. And so, but I remember he would work from sun up to sundown 7 days a week, and he wouldn't come up. He would be gone. He would be at work working cattle when the sun went up. I mean, was coming up, and he left whenever it was going. And that's why a lot of times people ask me, you know, like, what's the, what should I do if I'm wanting to start my own business, or I want to get into manufacture or whatever, what advice do you have, having gone through this? Because we've been through like hell over the years, and a lot of people that have been along the journey, they see it because I'm very vocal about it, about highs and lows and things I mess up on and stuff like that. And the thing I can tell them, and I was even talking about it yesterday on this other thing we had going on that was live, is if you think that you're going to get into your own business and work 40 hours a week, I can guarantee you are going to fail so miserably and of epic proportions that you can't even imagine. You're going to fail if you think you're going to only work 50 hours a week. You may make it if you work 60 hours a week. May. So if I tell people, if they want to start their own business, and I get literally the question every single day on some form of social media. They're going to find me and message me, and they're going to ask me about something that, starting a business every day. And the best thing to say is, if you're not willing to at least work 70 hours a week for years, then don't even think about it. Just get it thought out of your head. So that's the best advice I can have, is you need to be committed to 70
Great
hours
advice.
a week for in a year. Do it. Because I can tell you right now, the ones that succeed are the ones that are doing that, and they're committed to it. So if you can't commit to it, just go work for somebody else that will let you work 40 hours a week, and it's going to pay you regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, having your own business is definitely not a vacation.
No, but everybody thinks that, I'm going to be your own boss. And I can tell you right now, you're never going to be your own boss.
Yeah.
I got a whole lot of them. I'm looking right here real quick on some of these. That Acadian Night candle is one of my favorite. That's actually, we do private label candle manufacturing for other companies, and that one's made for a store in Boston, by the way. And the name for it they came up with, somebody commented on here, it's called Acadian Night. We see the store, Boston General Store up there, and we make that for them. And pretty popular, pretty famous graphic designer Joshua Minich did the design for this, but we make them here in town. So we do a lot of private label manufacturing for other people. When you guys want your own custom candles, let me know.
Yeah.
But that's the biggest business advice I could say. And then also, don't listen to what everybody else has to say. What I mean by that is, you should definitely, I think you should, and I don't know it all, by the way, but if you can listen to, get somebody's opinion and see what they say, but it doesn't mean that you have to go do it. You need to think on your own, because I had people, one of my best friends, I was talking about, like, this bath salt, one of the first products ever made. And I was sitting around, we were drinking in his backyard, and I was like, yeah, I'm thinking about starting this business, and I'm going to make products that were typically not for guys. I'm going to make them okay for guys. He's like, what? Like what? And I said, well, like candles, I'm going to, and bubble bath and bath salts. He's like, why would any guy want that? And I was like, well, it's just, I don't know, you're hungover, you want to get a candle and get another glass of, get a glass of whiskey and get in the tub with, I don't know, just like you're in hell, you want to come alive, you're in survival mode, you want to just try to come alive. Probably not go bragging about it to your friends about how you're soaking in the tub right now, but we all know that it's it's a way to maybe nurse a hangover. So he was like, why? He goes, I would never buy a bubble bath or bath salt. That's for chicks. I'm like, dude, like, come on, drop the tough guy mentality. I'm 6'4" and 230 pounds, can probably run through a brick wall. You're like, what do you, like, you're not that tough, buddy. Chill out. John Wayne took a bath. You can too. Like, chill. So,
right.
And I knew by his resistance on that was a good idea to make a product like that, because now you just have to change the way that that people perceive it. You know what I mean? And so a good example, the way the world changed the way people perceive a product is if you look up the history of a wristwatch. So before the turn of the century, every single male, by the time he was 15, it was like a rite of passage. That's when he got his first pocket watch, right? But no male had a wristwatch. Females had wristwatches. Those were small and dainty. They were not waterproof. They would scratch. They were an accessory for whenever we were going out on the town or whatever, or whatever it may be. So I can't remember. There was some kind of war. I can't remember what it was, in Burma or somewhere, and they would time artillery coming down, and they would run from bunker to bunker. But so they had this pocket watch. You imagine you're getting your ass shot off, and you're taking out your pocket watch to time wherever you got to do and whatever you got to meet up and running for. I mean, you got a gun and whatever. So they started strapping it with leather to their arm so they could see it. And then you see how this evolved. So after the war or whatever it was, they started making watches bigger, and actually they started making little leather cases that you would set your pocket watch in, and it would attach to your wrist. I actually have one of them. And then they started just making watches bigger for guys, and they made them where they were eventually waterproof and they wouldn't scratch and so on and so forth. So they changed the way the world perceived a product, and we're not doing anything that groundbreaking, but we did market some things pretty good, and we were pretty
You
early.
do sell a lot of candles. Yeah.
We sell a lot of candles. That's a lot. And so, we were just early, and that's why, I think, because, everything went crazy after that. Everybody got into, spray tans and Botox and whatever everybody's into now. But in 2012, whenever I started all this, it wasn't this self-care and stuff like that for kind of guys wasn't as popular. And we're not too far into it, but we definitely have some pretty cool rocking gifts for dudes. And some of it's more like quote unquote man stuff, and which would be something like, just to give you an example of what that might be like this. This is a knife made with buffalo horn, and this is cut with a blowtorch out of a vintage plow disc. My friend Max Poglia makes these in Brazil, so that's awesome. A pretty, So
I need to get me one of those.
Everybody needs one of those. Or straight razors that are custom milled or whatever, and what might be like a dude thing, like these are Chippewa snake boots. So if you're hunting or fishing and you're camping or whatever, these boots, snakes can't bite through them, and they do work. So we just have all kinds of stuff here. So we have a little bit of something for everybody, and I think that's what makes our business successful. Because whether you're 16 or 86, we're going to have something in here, because a lot of the stuff we have is very timeless and very, very gifted.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I want to say hi to and thank you to everybody who's tuning in. Mimi Trahan from Houston Magazine Modern Luxury is in the house. Wes Watkins, we had another comment that said, talking about what you were saying with watches, same with hats. Fedoras were originally made for women.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
And
business mentors along the way. If I had any business mentors along the way, I would say Bill Baldwin has helped me out a lot. He owns Boulevard Realty here in the Heights. He's one. I currently have one right now. His name's Steve Sabo. He's actually one of my business partners. I've had a few people along the road that we've just I guess gotten to know a little bit that have helped out. But really, Bill Baldwin, which is one of my best friends, I'd met him through here. He's helped me with a lot of different business dealings and things like that. And a lot of these guys like him and my business partner Steve, they've really taught me how to slow down and kind of think things through a little bit better. And because I'll get kind of fired up about something and go berserk trying to figure it out, whatever, and engulf my life in it. And they just kind of they'll slow me down a little bit. And that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned is go in, go heavy, but pump the brakes sometimes, you know, and chill out.
Definitely,
You know.
definitely. How have you been? How have you been adapting through the COVID-19 pandemic with the store having to be people can't come in and shop like they were, but you know, following your Instagram seems like you're being very innovative with virtual tours and things like that. What have you been doing to adapt to this whole situation?
Yeah. So you know, when this all happened, I knew that you know, it would actually. Well, I didn't know. I assumed it would get to a point where we were going to have to convert everything to online, and I didn't know the extent of it. I didn't think they were going to shut all the I didn't think we were going to shut everything down like it is, obviously. So nobody had any way of knowing. But we, oh man, so much to think about. This happened so quick.
Yeah,
We,
been like one thing after another.
whenever all this started happening, we started booking orders for manufacturers that have make sanitizer. So that's one thing that we started doing like immediately. But we didn't have a lot of money at the time. We would never really have a lot of money, but we didn't have a whole lot of money because we were investing into a new Austin location. And so that was all going on. And we were moving staff members down there. And then we were ramping up our production for that store, which
Hmm.
cost us a lot of money for all the raw ingredients. So we're like spending money on the Austin store, staffing for all of it, training and all that sort of thing, inventory of our own products, and the labor to go into making them, and third-party goods. So we're ordering stuff from other, and they're going to start shipping it to Austin. So all this goes on. So we got just money going everywhere because we're banking on the Austin store. And then this all happens, and then went to crap. Issue that with the sanitizer all started coming in, which was great, but the
Oh, it's cutting out a little bit.
to fill the sanitizer, but we just don't have the bottles to put the sanitizer in. So we're getting all kinds of weird shaped bottles and all kinds of stuff that just to put the stuff in. So we were doing online or sale, you know, online orders. We were doing came up immediately with this terminology. I just called it virtual shopping, and
Hmm.
and it got a lot of press and PR. So because we always used a FaceTime, I mean a an iPhone for our shop phone, and we would FaceTime with people sometimes if they couldn't come in, and walk them around and be like, hey, you know, who you shopping for? You know, oh, my dad, cool. What's he into? Golf? Does he drink? Does he smoke cigars? What's his thing? All right, we'd find out who they're shopping for, what he's into, and we'd say, you know, what's your budget? You know, and then now we know what to show them. We walk around and talk about this and that, why we like it, and it was kind of your next best thing besides being able to come into the store, right?
Hmm.
So people could always just go shop online, but you know, there's just thousands of products, just like any other place. So people wanted to come to the store before, otherwise they would have just shopped online. I mean, there's no, otherwise there'd be no reason for us to even have a retail shop. But they want to meet somebody, talk to somebody, get their opinion. So we wanted to give them that in the comfort of their own home while it was all doing it. So we'd FaceTime with them. So we're booking up all these FaceTime um, sessions and shipping that stuff out, and then just promoting like crazy. And then we started taking the downtime to do things that we had always wanted to do, like setting up our YouTube channel and working on doing live streaming on YouTube, which I was actually talking to you about earlier that you wanted to
Hmm.
do. Working on our back end stuff for like all of our employee manuals and files and all those sort of things, and then taking the time to develop some new products and working on graphic design, and you know, just like, you know, in hopes that like when all of this stuff is all over, you know, we want something to be there at the end of it, not just be like, well, we sat around the whole time griping, complaining, and how bad this sucked, and we didn't do anything positive, and we just were crying the whole time. I mean, that's no way to. And there's people out there every day. Like I have friends on my personal Facebook account, and I just hit that snooze for 30-day button. I don't know if you've ever seen that, because I just wake up in the morning. I'm like, dude, I just want to see like what you cooked for dinner last night, and what you read your kids the bedtime story or whatever. I just want to see
Right.
like a snapshot of your life,
Something positive.
something
Yeah.
positive that you're doing, whatever. And instead, it's like, your whole world's crushing down and everybody's to blame and blah blah blah, and you know it all, and all of a sudden you're an infectious disease expert, and like dude, like you don't even know how to take Benadryl, much less like cure corona. I mean, like, just stop. So I'd snooze that. So I just kind of cut out any negativity in my life personally, and any kind of social media related. And then I just focused on staying positive with different stuff. And I wanted to use this hand sanitizer and these masks and stuff that we got in to be able to not only put people back to work, we got to make money to be able to pay the bills here. The overhead doesn't stop. And
Mm-hmm.
you got a production space, you got an Austin space, and you got this space. That's 3 rents. And then you got, I don't know, however many people we have working here, a lot. So you got all of them. We want them to be working. So we need to make some money off of it, right, to be able to pay them. But we also wanted to be able to give a lot of this sanitizer and things that people in the medical industry or first responders. I know a lot of police officers, a lot of firemen. I wanted to be able to give them that stuff. So we dropped off some sanitizer to a fire station down here a while back, and we have people that pop up here all the time, and we just give it to them, no questions asked, whether we just trust you. So trying to do what we could. We'll walk some across the road over here to a retirement home. They didn't have any there, so just little stuff like we can. I mean, you can't save the world, but you can at least, when this is all over with, I think one thing that people need to realize is they're going to think back to the rest of their lives about, what did you do? Did you sit around and complain during this time? Did you attempt to try to do something good and positive, whatever it may be? Like, what did you do?
Mm-hmm.
And I know that for my own selfish reasons, I want to make sure that I can, I don't know, quote unquote, live with myself, or whatever you want to call it, without getting too deep in it, that I did some pretty good things, right? That's kind of my thing. So the next big thing, and I'm going to show you all the shop real quick, is with that sanitizer. We're going to have our Houston's first, we're going to call it a BYOB sanitizer station. So bring your own bottle, because like I mentioned earlier, we can't get the
I
bottle.
love it.
So we have the sanitizer, and we have the machine to pump it in there, but we don't have the bottles to put it in. So you can bring your own bottle up here, and we will fill it for you. And so just like when you'll be able to put your bottle on the scale and pump it, we'll zero the scale, then you'll pump however much you want in there, and then put it back on the scale, and it'll be able to print out a thing just like you would at the grocery store whenever you weigh your vegetables, and it barcodes it and everything.
Yeah.
I'll show you the store before we go do that, though. So this is when you come up the stairs here. You'll come up the stairs, and this is what it looks like here. And then this is our checkout area over here. You can see how we're robbing everything off all of the shelves. And then we have like grooming and apothecary stuff, and a lot of these. Normally these shelves have a lot more stuff on them. It's been picked through cocktail stuff. That's been the big thing people are buying these days. And our shelves are pretty bare here. This is a lot of our candles and a lot of the products that we make here under that flag. And this is that little bar set up. We always got, got some local beer in here.
Yep.
So we typically get them all. We'll get like Carbach, and we'll get Eighth Wonder, and we'll get St. Arnold's, 11 Below. We get them all.
Almost feel like we're on MTV Cribs right now.
Yeah.
Great.
A little bit. And then these are like clones and fragrances and stuff, cookbooks and all kinds of different, like, more expensive stuff in here, watches. And then you have this big shelf here full of stuff, fitting rooms. This is Elizabeth counting something on the floor. I have no idea. Apparently she's doing hat inventorying or something. And then these are like some of the clothing, leather goods. BYOB Hand Center, bring your own bottle. Yep. Where is this Austin location going to be? Austin location is on South Congress.
Yeah. Question from Tony Davitt. I think he's actually, a friend of mine is actually moving to Austin soon, so you'll be seeing him there.
Nice. So this is the store. And then I'm going to take you downstairs. I'm going to show you the BYOB hand sanitizer station, which I'm sure is going to go crazy. This is Sterling. He's apparently packing. Those are to go. Those are retail to go or whatever they call it. Let me clean
Yep.
this screen.
That's the American flag on the left
Yep.
there.
That's the flag. And that's the bench everybody to sit on and take photos. And now these are all like, these are orders that are going curbside today, I guess. And then we have this little, this has been replaced with crappy Walmart plastic tables for this mess that we're in. And they have a little temporary station here, I guess, for what's this, curbside shipping and mask. I guess these are orders for like face masks.
And so when people get their orders, they actually take it outside.
Yeah, they can take them out, but they have face mask and gloves on, and then we have hand sanitizer that they do all day long. And these are some of the masks that we got in. These apparently, people say these are one of the softest ones that they've ever had on. So this lady, I just posted it. She was just talking about it. And so we constantly clean everything. I mean, like obsessively, which is obviously I've gone through this much sanitizer because I'm real OCD anyway. Like in a couple of days. So I put this over here for now, so as you can see this. It's like a filling machine. So you'll be able to come up here. You'll be able to bring your bottle. Say this is your bottle, and you can put it on the scale, and you'll zero the scale, and then you'll put this under here. And when you pull the lever, it'll pump it however much you want. You put it back on there, and then you can then pay for what you put in there. So it doesn't matter how big the bottle is or what kind of container you bring. So it could be a very small one, it could be a large one, or whatever. And that's the idea. So we fill this thing up with it. And then, so anyway,
Great.
this is the downstairs.
So that's the BYOB hand sanitizer.
Yeah, so this is the first look of it. And then we have a big hydraulic machine that's custom built, like if we need to fill up any large containers or something, because we have a lot of sanitizer. And then this is the car here. And so you can get in here, and a lot of people will get their drink and they act like they're drinking and driving.
Yep.
And then we're doing another thing we started doing is custom gift boxes for corporations. So during all this, this is 50 of them going out, these red boxes. So it's like a care package that these corporations are sending out to their clients, and we'll do it all for them so they can pay us to bring all this products in or have them all delivered here. So like they wanted they wanted Jiffy popcorn, and they wanted games in them, and then they wanted a candle, and they wanted whatever. So I guess we are bringing in another label printer to be able to offset that. We've got a bunch of hand sanitizer we're about to put back up online. The corporate gift boxes or little feel-good boxes and whatnot. This is the candle bar that's now a shipping station. So this used to look really cool, like you would go
it
up
looks
to
a little different.
Yeah, you go up to this. You can see pictures on the Instagram page. But this cool, like live grain wooden table, this is where we'd make all the candles. So you'd come in here, and we'd teach you how to custom blend your own candle with that. So where's Wall Street Journal just reported a lift of the stay-at-home ban for Texas this Friday. What is that? I have to process what that even means, because every day I hear something new, and it's like something. Then we got the
good news.
Miss Pac-Man. But yeah, kind of some women's clothing and a little more kind of women's-sided stuff down here. And then that's the women's dressing room, some bags. But
kind of like you were talking about, something for everybody, all ages, men, women.
That's just the thing. Like whenever we first started the business and we opened the retail, better yet, we were in, I don't know, I can't remember what magazine or newspaper or something, and somebody was like, Houston's newest hipster store. I'm like, I'm gonna Google. I'm like, what the hell? What is a hipster? And like, I didn't even know what that meant. I was just told I was a redneck all my life, So I didn't even understand what that meant. And so I can assure you, not my vibe, not my thing. I'll walk y'all out here and show you the outside. So you can see it's 2 stories, and then this is the
mural.
Our target audience is kind of like I would say like a 35 to 50 crowd, and kind of kind of a business professional crowd, I guess. We're not really catering to younger, I don't know, whatever they thought we were going to be catering to, but that's just not our crowd. Maybe it's because our products are kind of more expensive, so it weeds out, kind of, I don't know. It's just, we're not selling to Abercrombie and Fitch crowd or whatever, a Gap
Right.
crowd.
Right.
Different
Well,
vibe.
yeah, if the stay-at-home ban is lifted, David was coming again. That means you'd be able to be back open, which would be great if that is the case on Friday. Get people back in the store there. For now, it's manready.com, right? Your website?
Oh, is this? Yeah, yeah, manready.com. Oh, this is my friend David. Yeah. So, yeah, I was trying to process that because I was getting like, whenever I'm talking on here and, I'm kind of like thinking about it, and especially when I'm reading it, I'm like, I don't want to say something stupid because I didn't process it correctly,
Yeah.
just because you're on the spot.
I have a very
But,
hard time multitasking myself.
yeah, but, yeah, I was thinking about it whenever I'd said that, like, and I was trying to read it again and just make sure I understood it correctly, because I was like, is this true? Like mentally, like
Mhm.
this, that would be awesome, because we're definitely trying to get more people back to work. The biggest challenge we've had is making sure people have a safe work environment. So every day we have a quick meeting with the staff, because we come through, we sanitize this place from top to bottom. We do it before, during, and after our shift. So we're over the top, OCD about just cleaning the heck out of this place. We're trying to stay up to date with different, um, you know, articles and things that are coming out and whatnot. You're trying to, you don't want to get your hopes up, but you also want to be prepared. But we're adapting, taking things one day at a time. Um, just keeping our nose to the grinding stone.
Yeah. Chelsea Payton waved and said hello. Hey, Chelsea.
Hey, Chelsea.
Um, we've, I guess, one last thing. You talked about this earlier, but I love what you were saying about tuning out negativity and staying positive. Um, what are any silver linings that you can pull from this whole experience, as tough as it may have been?
Well, my take on a lot of this stuff, just my opinion, and I was actually telling my mom about this, because she's talking about when things go back to normal. Well, what I think is the silver lining is things are going to be better, and it's how things should have been done in the first place. And I'm not the most religious person in the world, but I was telling my mom that, like, this is God's way of punishing us, because you know what, we're a bunch of dirty, inconsiderate, selfish, and entitled, want everything right now, blah blah blah. It's got out of hand. You weren't everybody wants to be diverse and different and blah blah blah, and they embrace that. But you know what, those same people that preach, be you, be unique, be different, have your own beliefs and own whatever, if the same people that are preaching it, if they don't have the same opinion as you do, they're in the wrong, and they're gonna come down on them like a ton of bricks. That's not being a good neighbor. You should be able to do your own thing, be your own person, have your own beliefs, and not have somebody just tar and feather you because you're not like them, right? So now everybody's equal, right? Doesn't matter about the color of your skin, what religion you are, how much money you make, are you a celebrity, are you a superstar athlete or whatever. You're all equal now, like it should have been, like you were saying you were. But if they weren't like you were, you know what I mean? It's hypocritical, big time. So now you're all the same. We all know it now. Everybody knows it. Now you're thinking about where things were made. You're thinking about it. You're thinking about the details. You're thinking about every single thing, including your damn toilet paper. Everything, right? You're thinking about this bottle. You're thinking about every little detail. You're thinking about being clean and sanitary, which you should have done the whole time. How many times have you been in a restaurant or a bar and some dude comes out of the stall and just doesn't wash his hands?
Right.
A lot.
Far too many times. Yeah.
Yeah, and so now nobody, everything's going to how it should have been in the first place. Respect, that means, washing after yourself and cleaning, being hygienic and all this stuff. That's being a good neighbor, right? And now people are going to think about all that stuff. They're going to be more respectable. Going to think about how things are made, who made them. They're going to think about jobs, job security, what business profession they're going to go into that's going to be able to weather quote unquote the storm. You know what I mean? Like different things. You know, people are going to put a lot more thought into a lot more things. I know with it, we already are. A lot of the businesses and companies that we work with are. I don't know. I think it's a crappy way to have a reset, but you're going to come out of it and things are going to be better, right? I mean, eventually, you know, and they're not going to be like they were. The only bad thing is, you know, we're going to have to we're going to have to learn a new handshake because you can't do those anymore, right? So I don't know what that's going to be. I don't know if everybody carries one of those little plastic, you know, hands that's extended that you pull the trigger and you can shake a hand with it or something. I don't know what the new thing is going to be, but you know, but I think the silver lining is everybody's going to be more thoughtful, more respectful, more considerate. They're going to be how we should have been, that we totally just pissed it away. You know, we had an opportunity just to be good and humble and, you know, respectful, and we just screwed it all up. Got too dirty, and then the button got pushed and said, hey, I'm gonna here you go. Now you're gonna think about it all. And so sucks, but here we are, and we'll get through it. But we've adapted well. We've got, like I said, we're trying to do our part. We're putting people back to work, trying to stay positive through it all. Not gonna gripe and complain all day long about it. And we're staying busy, so we've never skipped a lick the whole time. We've had something going on 7 days a week through the thick of it all. And we'll keep on rolling.
Yeah, man, I knew I could get some words of wisdom from you. Wanted to say thanks for coming on. Again, if anybody's just joining, this is obviously Travis Weaver from Manready Mercantile, one of my favorite people, one of my favorite stores in Houston on 19th Street in the Heights. You can check out their stuff right now at manready.com, 24/7 online shopping. And then sounds like maybe you'll be able to open the store back up soon, which is great. And that BYOB, bring your own bottle hand sanitizer, looks great, man. I know I could definitely utilize that.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it all, you know, and getting caught up with you more. I appreciate the opportunity to kind of spread the word. Anything like this, we definitely don't take it for granted. It doesn't matter to me how many people are watching. You know, if it's just one person that can, you know, see kind of what we're doing, what other people are doing, what you're doing and whatnot, and just kind of maybe help them out, maybe whether it's through a particular product, a feel-good item like a candle to have in their house that they're cooped up in, or something that's more serious like a mask or some sanitizer, or maybe they know they're watching and maybe they know somebody that could use some and they hit us up like that. We just never know who's looking, and we're just proud to be here to offer whatever it may be to whoever it may be, and do it the right way and keep these people working. You know?
Yeah,
so.
I almost forgot to mention too. I put on my shirt I got from Manready for the occasion. It's one of those Taylor Stitch shirts.
Oh yeah. Those are good.
You told me it would be one of my favorite shirts when I got it, and it definitely has been.
Well, good. I'm glad to keep you well dressed, Nick.
Thank you. I need some help in that department for sure. But thanks, Travis, and
right,
best wishes to you, man. And thank you for everybody who joined. We'll post some highlights of this later to our Instagram feed and get it up on YouTube as well.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Nick. Appreciate you guys for joining us today.
All right. Thanks, Travis, and thanks everybody out there.
All right, y'all be good.